Hi there. Well, I thought I would visit with y'all again. So anyway, I wanted to tell you what I did today. I made a big pot of smoked sausage, cabbage, carrots, potatoes, and onion, chicken broth, and you put it in your Ninja Foodie. And I put a little eBay seasoning in it to give it a little bite. And you just cook it for 1 minute in your pressure cooker, and then take the power off, and it's done. James came home, and he was so hungry, and so he had him a couple of bowls of it. I wonder if when I start painting, my paints will be here tomorrow, and my brushes that I ordered, and those canvases I bought have been treated with gesso twice already. So when I paint, they're fine. Probably the ones I used to might have been too. I don't know. I'm just not expert on that kind of stuff, but it's a wonderful hobby. I enjoyed it when I did it, and I'm in the mood again. And I wonder, can I still do it? Is it like riding a bicycle? Can you jump back on and wham bam, you can do it again? I don't know. I remember when I learned how to ride a bicycle. I was about 12 years old or 13. And we went to Sunday school. The Methodist church was within walking distance of where we could go to church, me and Phyllis and Norman. Daddy and Mommy were not in church anymore, but we were. We went down to the log cabin where they shouted and carried on. That was a fun church. But I liked the Methodist church too, because they would sing Love Lifted Me. Love lifted me. And that's an old hymn from the Bible that God's love does lift us up. And I just enjoyed that song. A man by the name of Doss Ellis used to sing it. And he said to my dad one time, he said, Tom, you know you're a young man now, and I'm an old man, and I've seen a lot, but one of these days you can be saying the same thing. I can tell y'all I've seen a lot, but I'm getting back to how I learned to ride a bicycle. This young man, Kent Rippy, was about my same age. And as a 13-year-old, 12-year-old, I was struck on him. Now, being struck on somebody means he would sure be fun to do things with. So he would let me ride his bicycle and practice riding so I could learn how to ride a bicycle. Well, it was a lot of fun. But you know, there was big bushes around the church, and I never did catch on how to do the brakes. And the only way I could stop it was just to run it into a bush. The bush would catch me, and I was good. I stopped. I was just so struck on him. He was the cutest thing. I always was struck on somebody. But Kent Rippy was just it. And so when it came December, we drew names in our Sunday school class, and he got my name. And I thought, Kent is going to get me the best gift you ever seen in your life. I just can't wait to see, because he got my name. And I knew it. So when it came time to get my present, okay, it was a Bible. I said, no. I mean, I didn't want a Bible. I wanted a box of candy or something. Baloney Maroney. His grandmother had helped him get a Bible and wrap it up. But you know, I enjoyed that Bible. After I got it, I started reading it all the time, and I really liked some of the scriptures. So it helped probably put me on the right track, you know. I really don't know, but I got a Bible for Christmas. That's what Kent Rippy got me. But I did learn how to finally ride a bicycle. I was slow. And then after I got married and we had kids, and we was living here in New Albany, and I had twins and Kim, the younger daughter. Now the twins were about 12 years old, and Kim is 4 years younger. So we bought me a bicycle, Buddy a bicycle, number one husband, and bicycles for the girls. We was doing good financially at that time, so we bought bicycles for all of us. And the roads were not busy that long ago at all. So we're going to ride up and down the road. Now that was another disappointment. Have you ever tried to ride with 3 kids and really get some exercise? We did it a few times, and guess what? I said, y'all just go riding by yourself. I believe I'll stay at the house this time. It ended up that they went riding by themselves, and I just didn't care about riding up and down that road. This is my bicycle riding story time. So anyway, when we went to Florida with number 2, he and I had a motorhome. And we went to Florida every winter after Buddy died and I married number 2. And we bought bicycles. And my sister and her husband, they had a motorhome. And we would go to Florida together and stay at the same campground, which we would stay a month at a time. I got so sick of Florida people. I'm sorry. I mean, you like it for a week or so, but to stay a month, what do you do? I couldn't hardly find any books to read, and y'all know how I love to read. So anyway, I couldn't find any books hardly, but we all bought bicycles. And for several winters, we would ride them, and I would ride them bicycles like crazy. I mean, it was good exercise, and we enjoyed it because it was all flat. There was no hills. There was no traffic in the campground. We could just ride around and around, and I liked walking by the river. There was a river there, and we would walk by the river, but to find a book to read, there was no library. We would have to go to the flea markets, and they had a big flea market not far away, and I would load up on books, and then I would read sitting under the awning and listening to the river and the boats going up and down and up and down. That was fun. And there was some rich people on that river. I mean, it was a big river, and they had like a place to land a helicopter on top of their boat. I just never saw anything that rich. But we loved going at first. And then I got tired of going. And so I said, I'm tired of riding this bicycle. So I was 65 when I decided I was done riding bicycles. So I took my bicycle, and they said, you're not going to sell your bicycle. I said, oh, yes, I am. And I put a sign on it, and I sold that sucker. $35. It was a steal. And somebody bought it. It was gone. From then on, I've walked. I've walked a lot, and walking is a good exercise for senior citizens. Number 3 and we go every morning to the Y and walk his pace, and I can't walk as fast as him. He's 6'3". He takes 2 steps to my 1. I'm only 5'2". But this morning, my scale said, you weigh. Now, this was a little disgusting because I want to keep under 155. You weigh 155.7. Oh, no, I said, oh, no. I got to lay low today, and I got to eat less. That's my diet. It's called Eat Less. It's a good diet if you can stick to it, but I just had 2 pieces of chocolate candy. I'm not too good at doing that. I'm working on it. I cannot get heavy again because I can't get into my jeans, and I love my jeans. But now when I get all my paints and stuff, I might set it up to where you can see me do something. I don't know. It might be interesting to try. Maybe y'all could learn along with me again, and y'all could do some painting. Some of you. Who knows? We got to keep interested in life, because if we don't, it gets boring, boring, boring. And I'm reading a real good book right now. And I'm watching Slim Potato Head. He's on YouTube, and he travels around in a camper all the time, and he goes to some of the most beautiful parts of the country. He's a guy that travels by himself, and I've been watching him for years on YouTube, and he's got like 175,000 followers. And do you know what y'all have done now? I got 52,600 something followers, and what am I going to tell y'all every day? I think I'll let Bella take over. Bella, can you talk to him? I love talking to y'all. This is fun. I have reminiscing and things that happen, and my mind just stays in a whirl, and it's fun. So God bless y'all. And the Lord is good. And I had a scripture, and it's really a little prayer. And it says, Dear Father in heaven, we come before your presence with thanksgiving and rejoice that you are with us on earth. Even though we have many struggles and temptations, and even though problems crowd in upon us, we know that you are in the hands and that everything must go according to your plans. And that's the daily prayer from the Bible, from the iPad, that people pray together. And Lord Jesus, be with us and direct our paths that we may go the right direction is my prayer, and that I don't hurt people's feelings. I'm so plain spoken. I have to be careful because I'm like Aunt Nelly. I told y'all about Aunt Nelly. My mom said, you know, Clarine, you're going to be just like Aunt Nelly. Aunt Nelly was a big, heavy-set woman. And I said, no, Mommy, I'm not. And when I grew up, I found out that Aunt Nelly was the kind of woman that said, you know, really, if you would wear blue or whatever, you would look a whole lot better. I mean, she would spend her opinion whether it was wanted or not. And I have been guilty of that. I'll never forget one time I had a girlfriend that wore wigs just like I do. And I held her down and I said, come here. I hadn't seen her in years, but I knew she wore wigs. Her wig looked atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. You can look that word up. It wasn't good. She looked terrible. I know how to wear a wig. And so I said, come here. Let's go to the restroom. I want to fix your wig. We went there. She said, really? I said, yes, come on. So we went to the bathroom and I fixed her wig. She looked good from then on. We started walking together. Hadn't seen her in years. And now she's gone. But she's in heaven. She knew the Lord. We went to church together some when I was in between husbands. And that did happen some, that I was alone and it was so lonely. And I went dancing at the VFW and made a lot of friends. Get out of the house if you're a little old widow woman. Or if you're a little old widower. Get out of the house and go dancing. Like that Ed Nava on YouTube. He is as cute as a button. Look him up. I like him. Sometimes I get up and dance with him. Okay, friends. God bless you. Enjoy and walk that walk. Don't forget, that would be pleasing to Jesus. Now, how am I going to do this? I'm going to pull my iPad up and put it like this, and I'm going to turn this off. So I love y'all. I'm behind here, but you're not going to see me look cross-eyed today. No way, Jose.